Hello, I'm Keith Jowers, and this is another episode of Dad's Garage brought to you by Dads for Life, and we welcome you back to another show. I'm standing here at the St Augustine Classic Car Museum in St Augustine, Florida, a place where you can bring your family to, bring your children to, and talk about classic cars. But that's not why I began with the Dad's Garage program. I started because I know that there's families that need to have some restoration. I know there's dads that need to restore some relationships with their kids, or just maybe learn how to build their relationship with their children. Dads for Life has been here for 17 years now as a nonprofit organization, and we've worked to encourage, enhance, and enrich dads to be what we consider their greatest asset on earth, or work with the greatest asset on the earth, and that's their children. So at Dad's Garage, we wanted to have a program where we talk about the highest quality of fatherhood and outstanding of its kind type of fatherhood. And that's what classic really means. And I'm standing around 98 beautiful vehicles that have been built and was a dream in somebody's mind at one time from 1895 to 2020. You can find something of all those years and that era in this museum. So if you ever get down to the St. Augustine area in St. Augustine, Florida, come to the St. Augustine Classic Car Museum, and you will be amazed at the very minimal admission fee that they have that can show you all of this for as long as you want to be here. So in this episode, we want to talk about the fatherhood being moral, and we want to talk about fatherhood leading by example. So being moral is basically that when fathers are deeply grounded in what they believe is a great responsibility, being fatherhood. Being moral simply means that their decisions are rooted in something greater than himself. He looks to something higher. He's selfless and not selfish, right? He's righteous, even though he's not always right in maybe how he's dealing with his children. He knows the difference between good and evil, right and wrong, and he's teaching his kids that. And you can definitely navigate those shades of gray sometimes between those areas. A dad that's moral is teaching his kids, well, the sense of morality is what maybe grounds them for life. And when temptation arises, when another situation comes into their life that maybe takes his eyes off his responsibility of being his dad, then you kind of something will bring you back around to knowing what's the right decision to make. And even if you mess up, even if it's a morality issue of some kind, then you get right with God and you start all over. That's the good thing about getting up every day, is you can start over, right? Another good trait that makes a classic dad, in my opinion, and makes that common fatherhood of doing the right thing for your children, so down the road they'll do the right thing for their own lives and for others as well, is leading by example. And when you lead by example, you are basically showing them the right road, because I've worked with a lot of kids and a lot of families in my career, and I have talked to a lot of children who say, well, they say one thing and they do another. They will definitely do what you do and not always what you say, if they're two opposites. Putting leading by example into action, means that being honest and loyal and loving, that we've talked about in previous episodes, and open-minded, okay? It shows that those things, you're leading by example by doing those things, you're teaching those things, but you've been leading by example by showing them that it kind of, well, makes you a better person all the way around, doesn't it? Leading by example provides what every good father should be, basically a role model to their children. And there's a lot of role models that children have, that young people have, that really are not role models. But they are looking for something. So why not you be that something, Dad? Why not you be that role model that they really are searching for? I consistently say in my programs and in my teaching at Dads for Life that home should be the safest place that any child should be able to go to. And they should get the right examples there. If a father if a father is consistently making harmful choices in his life or at home, his children are going to wind up doing the same. They're going to take the same path. So they're going to take the same path. So by you leading by example in the positive way will help them lead by example as well. Fathers, if you make the right choices, your kids will most likely make the right choices. And even if they make the wrong choice, you make the right choice, helping them get through making that wrong choice, well, that was a lot of words, wasn't it? That means that they are going to eventually make some right choices for themselves. And what's more important than eventually getting it? I've had dads tell me that their children really wasn't getting it until they got old enough to get it. Because being a classic dad is awesome. And it's simply meaning being a good man. And our world today needs more good men, no matter what your industry is. These traits that we've been talking about in this series at Dad's Garage, well, it has potential to making you a great father. And we need more great fathers today. There's over 24 million children living without their biological father at home in the U.S. And that's way too many. One's too many, but sometimes it happens. But you can be a good father and involved in your kids' lives, whether you're at home or even if you're not at home with them because of the situation, through a divorce or whatever the situation may have caused you to do that. The thing about being involved is your kids will remember it forever. And the things about not being involved, well, it's things that they'll try to forget, but they will remember. So here at Dad's Garage, we want to be everything we can be to help you be a better dad. And the world needs better dads. And it's time for men to step up and really change the way we've been doing that task. Till next time, this is Keith Jowers at Dads for Life with the show Dad's Garage, hoping that you'll work on the things in your own garage, in your house, to make your home a better place to be for the entire family. May God bless you.